All right, well, we're going to get started. We've got a lineup here for you. Lots of people to thank, a number of different speakers. I'll serve as your master of ceremonies here, and you'll get to hear from everyone, and we're happy to take questions. But today is really a celebration of a multi-year process which has resulted here in this beautiful, fully renovated, gorgeous playground and park here in the heart of Uptown Harrisburg. Back in 2015, I believe it was, we began a series of public engagement sessions with the community to talk about how we could invest in and renovate what then was a really aging park and playground system throughout the city of Harrisburg. And over the course of a year or so, with the help of especially DCNR and DCED, we were able to target and identify 5 playgrounds that needed a complete overhaul in Harrisburg. This is the 5th to be completed and the final one to be completed. As you look behind me, it posed some unique challenges. It was on a slope. There were unique accessibility issues that had to be addressed with this park. We had parking issues that we had to work out. There was some land ownership and utility issues, all sorts of things. But today we're here to celebrate the completion of that and having worked through it, which is really great. And I think the theme of today is that with partnership and cooperation, anything is possible. Back in 2015, when we were thinking about these, oh, you're agreeing with that. That was a yes? Okay, good. Yeah, okay, that was an amen. Excellent. I see that Jackie Parker is here. She was very instrumental with the city at the time in bringing in those initial planning grants. And I especially want to thank on our end Kevin Sanders, who is often unsung in a lot of this, but Kevin, for working for the city. I'm looking for Kevin. Where is Kevin? Okay, there's Kevin. All right, good, great. Kevin works sort of tirelessly behind the scenes to bring all these partners together to ensure that the renovation and the progress continued to move and was never delayed. And he's done a terrific job. So I want to call him out. But on the theme of partnership, we couldn't have done this without all of our partners. And back in 2015 was a much different time than we are now in the city. We didn't have the resources that we've been able to build up. We needed to look for grant funding. The state came through, as I said, with DCD and DCNR, but also we looked to our partners in Capital Region Water and Impact Harrisburg. And you're going to hear from them. But Impact Harrisburg provided grants which were able to sort of put us over the top. They acted as the catalyst, which they always do. And Capital Region Water was not just a partner, but they were an inspiring partner. And this park is an example of some of the best practices in stormwater management, as well as there's a community engagement component of this, which Charlotte can explain to you here in just a minute. So all told, these parks and playground renovations across the city ended up costing over $3 million, and this park in particular cost about $750,000, and again, it was in partnership with all those different funding sources. If you're interested, media, the other 4 playgrounds that were fully renovated are Cloverleigh Heights, Norwood and Holly, Royal Terrace, and Penn and Sayford, and all those are done, and you can go drive around and see what a difference they're making in each of the different corridors in the city. So this is the last one. So what are some of the highlights of this amazing playground? Well, one of them is what we're standing on right now, and that is that we have a porous, it is a basketball court with proper stormwater management. And much like the court here, we have a porous parking lot up on the hill as well. And that's probably one of the reasons why it's not as warm or as hot as it would be if it were an old-fashioned, fully sealed court. We also have rain gardens. You can see the rain gardens, and you can see behind you the lovely benches and street improvements of the sidewalk, making the park more accessible for all, but also putting the rain gardens front and center and showing people that they can be beautiful as well as effective. Lots of new equipment, so everything you see is new. None of that equipment existed prior. Note the trees as well. We've got trees planted. We've got our city arborist here with us today. wonderful selection of trees. You can ask her about that, but they're gonna grow up and provide shade and make the future of this playground even cooler for folks. We've got a couple different seating areas, which are very nice, and I did walk up and I admired the trash and the recycling bins. So we're committed to recycling in this city, and it's nice that we can show that off in our parks and playgrounds, and that's just part of it. And I should say we're in a very important sort of area. I call it a hub of enterprise and activity for the city. Of course, we're in a residential neighborhood, but behind us we have the hub, which is a sort of workforce development component that's relatively new to Harrisburg. We have veteran senior housing, we have the Heinz Medeker Senior Center, and we have the National Fire Museum. You put all that together in a residential setting. In the heart of it, you put a playground, and basically I think you have great synergy, and you've really got a strong commitment to improve quality of life for everyone who lives in this area. So that's part of it. That's what you see. The accessibility is strong, and it was very difficult to do, but we've got routes and various pathways so that this park is available and accessible for everyone. I may have a few more things to say, but I want to share the spotlight with our partners, and I want to start with, I guess, Charlotte and Claire together. If you guys want to come up.
Mayor. Good morning, everyone. So stormwater remains one of our biggest challenges here in Harrisburg. CRW needs everyone to help solve the 100-year-old problem of a combined sewer system. This project is just one example of many projects to come over the next 30 years in Harrisburg. So, you know, it's going to continue to be every year. Hopefully more and more projects like this will be built. Harrisburg is one of almost 800 cities nationwide that has a combined sewer system, which means stormwater and sewage from buildings go into the same pipe. On normal days, we can capture and treat all of that combined sewage at our treatment plant. But when we have very large storms like last week, it overwhelms the system and must overflow into local streams such as the Susquehanna and the Paxton Creek. We're working to reduce the amount of stormwater that reaches our combined sewer system, and the Joint Park Initiative is part of that larger framework. When there is a water quality concern from water quantity issues, you need to get creative, and this park is one example of that. As the mayor said, this is one of the fifth neighborhood park that CRW has partnered with the city to complete. It includes stormwater management elements that the mayor talked about that mitigate localized flooding and reduce sewer overflows. The visible elements are the rain gardens, the porous basketball court, and restored vegetation, such as the trees that the mayor mentioned. Less visible elements include drainage structures underneath the basketball court and underground piping, catch basins, and storm sewer pipes. Stormwater components of this park manage approximately 1 acre of impervious area, so not just the park site, but we're capturing stormwater from the streets surrounding the park, from parts of Fulton Alley and 4th Street, and the park's concrete walkways. The park also has this porous basketball court and the parking lot, as the mayor mentioned, which allows rainwater to drain through and infiltrate to the soil underneath. This equates to close to 1 million gallons, or 1.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools, of stormwater managed for the average annual rainfall in Harrisburg. The park's planning process started with a survey of residents to identify the needs of the community, then continued with frequent community meetings and feedback sessions. Engaging the community is an early and important step in our capital improvements program at Capital Region Water. We care deeply about how our work affects the community, and it should be mutually beneficial and mutually cared for. So to that end, we're also introducing an Adopt a Rain Garden program. So community members can adopt and volunteer to help maintain rain gardens and green stormwater infrastructure by keeping them clean and litter-free. Volunteers will be recognized with a sign at the rain garden, and Capital Region Water staff will assist in training the volunteers. The program is available to organizations, businesses, or individuals, and they can complete an application on Capital Region Water's website or by contacting customer service at 888-510-0606 or email at info@capitalregionwater.com. We're pleased 4th and Dauphin Park has been adopted by the Neighborhood Center. All of our plans and projects benefit from the knowledge and expertise of community members. So if you want to help, join our Community Ambassador Program. We have some of our community ambassadors here, and we meet monthly, and those meetings, as they will attest to, are very informative and very engaging. They help inform us as much as we help inform them. So sign up online or call customer service or get in touch with Steve Early, who is here somewhere. Steve, he's over there talking. There are other steps that you can take in your neighborhood to help the community when storms such as yesterday's or last week's storm approach. Check the storm drains on your streets because drains with litters or leaves on top of the drains won't allow rainwater to reach the pipes in the drain structures. Clearing the debris to allow rainwater to reach the pipe in the drain structure is an important feature to help localize flooding. If you see debris below the surface of the storm drain, call customer service so that we can have our crews clean out the structure. Our crews work around the clock to respond to every service call that comes into our customer service center and are also busy cleaning, flushing, and rebuilding pipes, inlets, and manholes all over our service territory to better collect and convey stormwater and wastewater. So thank you, and I'm so happy that this improved park is going to benefit our neighbors.
Wonderful. Yep. Okay. Not to say anything else. That's fine. The stars of the show arrived while you were speaking, Charlotte, and you saw how they took to that new equipment with joy. So that's fabulous. And let me just say, for the record, because the media may be interested, the total contribution to the project, I told you, was about $750 total for this playground. Capital Region Water contributed over $267,000, so a major part of this. Our other funding partner, and we've got lots of community partners, but our other funding partner was Impact Harrisburg, and as I mentioned, they served as the catalyst that put us over the top, as they do for so many projects throughout Harrisburg. Did you also fund the veterans housing behind us? Was that Impact Harrisburg? The hub. All right, so making its mark in the neighborhood every day. Come on up, Sheila, and talk about Impact Harrisburg.
Thank you, Mayor Peppenfuss. I'd like to ask Jackie Parker and Doug Hill to also step forward, please. Come on up, please. Good morning. It's very nice to be here for this exciting event. I have to say that of the many projects that Impact Harrisburg has had an opportunity to fund, this is the one I would have to say that really brought the biggest smile to the faces of my directors. Jackie Parker is a member of the board of directors of Impact Harrisburg. She was also previously served as the head of community and economic development, as the director of that in that really full-blown capacity when she was at the city of Harrisburg. And so she really was, as the mayor mentioned, an integral part of this project. And she worked deeply and very effectively with Kevin and with the other partners to bring this to fruition. We're so pleased and proud that she has been able to serve on our board for the past 6 or 7 years since its inception. Also, Doug Hill, who was also with me today, is a great community partner. He lives and has worked in the city for a number of years. He serves as the chair of finance and also as the vice president of Impact Harrisburg. These are two representatives of a great board. What I'd like to do is just to take a few minutes to just give a little bit of perspective on Impact Harrisburg and how important this is. But before I do that, I'd like to give a shout out to Blake over there and his crew. These are the folks who will be helping to maintain all of Harrisburg to ensure the safety and security and the happiness, all right, of the city. And I'm so pleased to see you all here. Good morning to all of you. Few comments. As the mayor said, the folks who are most important to this process arrived. I think they're from the neighborhood center, which is right around the corner, and we're so glad they're here. We also have the Heinz Miniker Senior Center, which is right across the street there, and that is run by Les Ford, who has really served as a community volunteer and partner on so many initiatives, and it's been a great help to impact Harrisburg. I have to say that we live in a city that is actually a playground paradise compared to many cities. It's not something we think about very much, and I see a young mother over there shaking her head. It is true. We have many, many pocket parks. You walk around and all of a sudden you look up and there's a little gem right there with a seat. Actually, I would argue that there's a pocket park right outside of this playground that serves as a communal meeting space for people to come and sit, to think, to do creative work. We have many, many playgrounds as well relative to the population of our community. A vibrant community that requires vibrant playgrounds. Think about the word playground. For young people, play is work. We know that. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I see monkey bars, I think about when I was 6, and that was my introduction to yoga, turned upside down on the monkey bars. No one believes me, but it's true. Okay, think about it. My organization, Impact Harrisburg, has supported the city by investing more than $10 million over the past 5 years in 14 economic development and infrastructure projects, of which the playground reconstruction project, is one. I have to tell you that we do have a booklet here that is available for everyone, right? This is the report out to the community on the works of Impact Harrisburg to date. There is a box there. Please feel free to take one from the box. And if you go through this, you will see lots of pictures, which is good because we're talking about children, right? Okay, but here you also have on page 22, the City of Harrisburg Capital Region Water Capital Upgrade. That's it. This is what we do. This is community partnership. This is how we do it in the City of Harrisburg. These dollars, our dollars, the Impact Harrisburg dollars, were leveraged to provide match funding, I believe, for the city's DCNR grant. This project represents, as Charlotte has said, and as Mayor Pappenfuss have said, this represents the type of synergistic partnerships in this instance, among the city, CRW, the Commonwealth, and Impact Harrisburg, that bring communities together. Partnerships are crucial to community success, which is why you got an amen from me when I was standing over there. Let me repeat that. Partnerships are crucial to community success. I have to say that this is the project which really represents in its totality a true opportunity for everyone to come together and really do something that is meaningful for those who are most important in our community, our children. I think that we need to point out again the green infrastructure design features. A few weeks ago, I stood here. It's okay, it's an urban area. I grew up in one, I know how that works. Never be deterred. Okay, I stood here with a reporter from a local television station the day after rainfall to introduce our new grant program. I explained to her, though, but also to talk about what we had done before, what we have done, what you see in the booklet. I talked about the rain gardens that Charlotte talked about so eloquently. And I said, look at the water. There was water actually running through the drains. You can only see a little bit of it because it's mostly underground. But then I turned to the playground, to this surface, and I said, and look, there's no water. And they were really startled, but there was no water on the playground. That's important. There was no water here. There were young men out here playing ball. We'll talk about getting women more involved in a few minutes. Playgrounds do that to you. They bring out your inner child. That young reporter and her camera person were very excited about this, all right? They didn't go up on the monkey bars, but they were excited. They are important to the psychological, social, emotional, and physical development of children. Playgrounds provide a space to grow in all of these areas, to become stronger and faster, to take safe risks, to learn how to make friends, to learn how to resolve conflict, to learn how to set boundaries and make rules, to deal with emotions, to get some vitamin D, and much more. You know the book, Everything I Learned, I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten? It's not totally accurate. Everything that you needed to learn, at least for me, I learned on a playground. This is important. This is the social meeting space for young children. And as you grow, what you do here changes, but it is equally as important. A few years ago in my family's church, a woman walked up to me and asked me my name. I told her, and she said that I had taught her how to play double dutch at a local playground. That was a long time ago. And all I said to her was, did I hit you with the rope? No, I didn't say that. No, I said I was so glad to hear that. But here's the thing. When I played double dutch on a local playground, I had to work out all those details. I had to learn to control my temper, to negotiate, to decide whose turn it was, to actually participate. That's why playgrounds are important. Is that right, Kevin? I don't know where you are. Okay. That was the year when girls my age debated everything on the playground while we were jumping rope. I learned from a very annoyed friend that same year that the W in the word sword, as in the movie The Sword and the Stone, was silent. I didn't know it. And I put forth a full defense until the other girls rolled their eyes at me. I went home and asked my mother, is it a silent W? And she said, everybody knows that. I didn't know it. My girlfriends on the playground let me know. If I hadn't been there, I would have gone to school and used the W. All right. We went back to jumping rope, but I got a lesson for the ages on the playground. I would like to close by talking about girls and playgrounds. Sports are important to boys and girls. Sports are the way we learn all of those negotiation and mediation skills. We learn strategy, we learn confidence. Sports are important to boys and girls. I was a pre-Title IX child. If you are a pre-Title IX person, you know what that means. That means that women were not as involved in sports. The past Olympics shows us how important sports are to females and to males. I want to make sure that as a city and as a community, that we make a safe space for girls to play, even as they grow. Girls like basketball too, and they like other sports, right? Tennis, Kevin? Girls like sports. And learning to share space with females, it is a very important lesson for boys. Thank you from Impact Harrisburg. Let me add that my board chair, Gloria Martin Roberts, sends her sincere regrets. She had a conflict that actually precluded her from being here, but she sends her strong congratulations to all of you for this very important project. And I want to once again thank you for this great achievement. Keep it safe, keep it fun, and if anyone wants to join me on the basketball court, I have my sneakers. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
That was for you, Eric,
Thanks,
the basketball court.
Oh, we're going to play?
No.
All right, one-on-one, Sheila Dow Ford versus the mayor right afterward. Okay, all right. I had never before contemplated that the W in sword was silent, but now I've learned. I know we're all eager to go play on the playground with the kids. They are making me very jealous, but we have one more partner to thank and acknowledge and to bring up to say a few words, and that is Sengor Mans with the Harrisburg Housing Authority. Come on up, Sengor. I want to just say that the reason that, that this partnership has been so successful has been that we really did engage the community, and we appreciate the Housing Authority's help in helping us do that. If you look at the nearest residents, they are within Harrisburg Housing Authority housing. And with all projects, we had to go through the process of making sure there was enough parking and working on access and all sorts of issues to make everyone. And I think we have a final project here which really did please everyone and is a great benefit to the neighborhood. And the Housing Authority is a partner in this, and all that we do is incredibly important. So Sengor, maybe just say a word or two.
Yeah. I've been set up. I literally said I don't need to say anything. Everybody's going to say enough. So as the mayor said, my name is Sengor Mans. I'm the Chief Executive Officer with the Harrisburg Housing Authority. As the mayor indicated, we own some properties here, and what you see over there in particular with the nice porous parking lot now, was asphalted pavement that, very, very unsightly, and quite frankly, also a CRW nightmare. So, and a city nightmare, quite frankly. And so with the partnership, and I think it was Jackie and Kevin that first approached us, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for us to be a part of this. And so I thank you, Mayor, for letting us be a part of this. I apologize to everybody for me walking up with gum in my mouth. I didn't expect to speak. But thank you all for supporting us, supporting the Harrisburg Housing Authority, for all the young men and women that are a part of keeping this beautiful park maintained. Thank you all. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. No, thank you, Sengor. As I say, a tremendous partner, really important. And part of the stormwater management was getting rid of asphalt, a much larger parking lot before it is now appropriately sized for the neighborhood and where we are here. And just one last note for the media, the contribution from Impact Harrisburg was over $63,000. So it really takes a village of partners to be able to put a project of this magnitude together and to make it successful. And we're really proud of what we've been able to accomplish for the residents of this city, and there will be more to come. Expect more announcements, lots of good work still to come from Impact Harrisburg and from the city. But with that, to get us playing with the kids, I think it's time to cut the ribbon. I'm now going to ask for participation in the countdown. If we could all count down from 5, we'll do it nice and loud, we'll cut the ribbon, and we'll go hang out with our kids that are enjoying themselves so much. Are we ready? Yeah. Here we go. Community service aides, your most important job so far. Help with the countdown. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, we're open. Congratulations.